friends. Welcome back to the God a Minute Me podcast. You know, as we get older, we all develop new habits, new strange things about ourselves. And I've discovered that I have some habits that I find troubling. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And then we're also going to hear from Anjanette about her fantastic song, Lay Your Burden Down. And if ever there was a time to enjoy a song like that, now's the time. So let's get started, friends.
This is a production of Pioneer Dream, celebrating 30 years of moving stories for corporate, nonprofit, and entertainment partners. Please help us keep the conversation going by rating, liking, and subscribing to this podcast. Thank you.
Chapter 40. The Problem with Pants. I have a difficult relationship with pants. It's not a new thing. It's unrelated to living in this post-remote working era where we only know each other from the chest up. It's not in response to the rise of leisure wear, where athletic fabrics have become the fashion du jour. It's not even about comfort directly. My problem with pants is the equator, or more specifically, my equator and where pants line up on me. I've always lived my life in the in-between. One waist size is uncomfortably tight, while the other is hopelessly sinking around me. This means pants generally orbit me in an ill-fitting radius that betrays my physique. Instead of riding a straight line across my midsection, they are ill-fated to arc low in the middle, causing my stomach to look like it's concealing a 9-inch platter of lasagna. Pants do this to me regardless of my current weight or level of in-shapeness. It's troubling, but I fear my relationship with trousers may grow even more troublesome as I mature. In recent years, I've noted there appears to be a requirement for men as they age to touch their pants at a near compulsive level. In previous generations, it was fashionable for men to pull on their pant legs as they sat down. It kind of made the act of sitting celebrated and more distinct, as if they were getting ready to engage in a magic act or a show tune. This is different. Now older men see every crease and crevice and seam as something they must tug and engage with like a shortstop in mid-August. This tug is usually accompanied by a weight shift, with one foot lifting off the ground or sometimes, in extreme cases, a double knee bend. To add to this awkwardness, there's also often an accompanying grimace. It's quite a dance. I'm not there yet. I actually have bigger concerns. Two new and extremely concerning habits have arisen in my life as I've gotten older. Both have shaken my constitution and put my desire to remain ageless, at least in my own mind, in serious peril. The first is my mouth. It now seems every physical venture I enter into, lifting something, raking something, putting something on my feet, involves my mouth. Suddenly, to move my quads requires me to also part my lips and press my tongue against my upper teeth in some sort of weird counterbalance. I haven't always done this. What message is my brain sending to my body? Before you lift that, brace yourself. Breathe like a 3-year-old with a nose cold and lift with your tongue. Trust me, it'll save your back. Also, tug at your pants to make sure they don't bind up on you. What the heck? The second aging abnormality is even worse. It's the dreaded insta-nap. More and more, I find myself slipping into sleep regardless of where I am. I used to judge guys like me, men who would rest their folding arms on their protruding stomachs while their heads hang forward and they slip into a coma-deep sleep on a public bench in the mall. If it weren't for the white New Balance tennis shoes and the clean cargo pants, you would assume these men are homeless. That and the absence of a paper-covered pint bottle. Now, here I am, losing consciousness without warning in the very same way. Do you know how embarrassing it is to have to go to a chiropractor because you hurt your neck involuntarily dozing so hard you suffered whiplash? I feel like I may be suffering from narcolepsy. Why do they call it narcolepsy, by the way? I'm not suffering from an uncontrollable urge to curb teen smoking by infiltrating high school cliques as an undercover agent. I'm having trouble staying awake. They should call it napsolepsy or crap, I just drooled on myself in a Zoom nalepsy. For whatever reason, this syndrome seems to increase in severity in the fall. Everything about autumn seems to demand more eating and drinking and sleeping, as if I'm preparing for hibernation. I kind of love it. One of my favorite fall rituals is opening the windows of the house and playing carefully curated playlists at robust volumes. The lyrics and heartbeat of each song often gets picked up by the breeze and carried through the house and back outside like an aroma. It's also an exceptional treat for the neighbors to hear good music instead of that pop drivel they normally have to listen to. Stevie Wonder said, "Music is a world within itself, with a language we all understand." I like to think of music as an international shorthand for the human experience. It can distill heartache, love, and longing, joy and revolution, praise and rapture into primary colors with subtle nuances in between. Maybe that's what makes music so universal. If I let myself right now, I can play Band on the Run by Paul McCartney and the Wings, and in my mind, I will immediately be in footy pajamas on the front bench seat of our car beside my mom outside of Best Western in Ocala, Florida. It's my earliest musical memory. Well, that and the Today Show theme, which was accompanied by an animated sunrise while I sat in a high chair with Cheerios. Music has that special transportive quality. Nearly every season of my life from childhood on has a soundtrack that I can clearly reproduce in my head. I love that about music. My daughter Evangeline and I like to play a game we call What's Your Walk-Up Music? For readers who don't know, when a batter approaches home plate, there's a bit of a ceremony to it. It begins with the announcer trumpeting the player's name, and then they play the walk-up music he's selected. It's a song that's supposed to say something about him, and presumably his intentions at the plate. My daughter and I have put a great deal of thought into what our walk-up tune would be and how we'd prefer to be musically introduced. I've selected Sabotage by the Beastie Boys for my imaginary at-bat, during which I would undoubtedly take full advantage of the venue and make several adjustments to my pants while mouth-breathing my way to a full count. We also play Songs for Your Funeral. These are a collection of songs you want played as people awkwardly sit in a hopefully crowded room and remember you for all the amazing things you did, minus your quirks, obsessions, faults, and times when you embarrassed yourself. I've selected Into the Mystic by Van Morrison and Staring at the Sun by U2. I guess the goal is to say something about yourself or leave a lasting message for those who are in attendance. In that case, You're Gonna Miss Me When I'm Gone might be a better choice, or Return to Sender, or even the Beatles' Only Sleeping. You probably have your own list. For a long time, my wife and I would decree an official theme song for the new year. It was usually a song we hoped would inspire us and carry us throughout the 12 months, and even act as a sort of goal or mantra. One particularly hopeful and aggressive year, it was Eye of the Tiger. This year, it might be Gloria Gaynor's I Will Survive or Avicii's Wake Me Up When It's All Over. I guess there's always Iggy Pop's Tight Pants, but that really feels like a self-fulfilling prophecy more than a goal. What are your songs? When you step up to your life's at-bat, what do you want them to play? Is there a track that you want to introduce you to the crowd? It's an interesting thought, isn't it? What about a theme song for the year? You could go dark and pick The End by the Doors, or maybe be decidedly upbeat like Johnny Nash's I Can See Clearly Now. I'll probably just stick with Cameo's Shake Your Pants. It just seems to fit. Well, hello, Anjanette. Welcome back to the Got a Minute Mini Podcast.
I'm glad to be here on the Got a Minute Mini Podcast.
How are your pants?
Actually, I have a new pair of stretchy pants, as they
Nice.
say. I know, okay, full disclosure, there's this whole, brand or whole genre of pants that
Yes.
are awesome. And they're basically as comfy as yoga pants, so stretchy, but they're made of that same material, but they're in the design of actual pants.
Yes.
Yes, so
Well, they're
I'm wearing
doing-
them.
They're doing something similar for men's pants now. This is more
Are
than
they?
our audience wanted to know, but
Well,
they're doing something. They
you're
call
welcome.
them golf pants or athletic pants.
Golf
but
pants?
they looked like normal
Yeah.
men's pants.
Are those green pants that you wore yesterday?
No, those are just horrible.
Pants.
Yeah.
Okay.
I tried to give them back, and they said, "Don't send them back. We'll just give you your money back." I'm like, "Okay, fine."
Okay, great.
So no, they're stretchy, and
Yeah.
so like if you were playing golf or you were doing something or just living your life and you need to
Yes.
move your legs,
Yeah.
they kind of go with
In
you.
case you need to do some calisthenics
Yeah.
or whatever, I'm ready. So if we
Yeah.
need to go for a little bit of a stretch later,
Yeah.
I look professional-ish,
Yeah. But that's not why you called.
No.
Why I called you today is I wanted to talk about a song of yours that I thought would be great for today and that many of our listeners have not probably heard.
Okay.
And it's called Lay Your Burden Down.
the old Lay Your Burden Down
Yes.
song. Oh, this is
If you are a fan of Anjanette's and you've been lucky enough to hear her perform live, you've probably heard this in her set because it is kind of a crowd favorite. But for those who don't know the song, what do you remember about its origin and about its style?
It's actually, I didn't record it for a few years, but it's actually kind of an older song. I remember writing it in, working on it when we were working in Chicago, one of the times that we were there, and you were editing our film Love Town. And so I was
Yes.
working on some music. I had my keyboards all one room. We're in
Right.
there and just kind of working on that. And I can't really remember except for I was feeling heavy about some things at the time. And just this idea came in my head, lay your burden down.
Right.
But the key to it that's interesting, so it's kind of fun in the way I recorded it. It has like lots of fun background vocals. But the idea is that we have these burdens as humans that we can share with each other. But oftentimes, I don't know, I feel like when we have problems or struggles, we try to keep them close to us or we hold on to them and we just like let it stew around in our mind and heart. And it's when we're willing to lay that burden down and or share it with somebody that it's alleviated.
Yes,
and so,
right.
you've got to let that burden go is what
Yeah.
the song. So it's just an encouragement that we all have the power to encourage each other. And rather than holding on to those burdens,
I also like
let
that
them
the
down.
song kind of reflects that this is kind of what this life is like. That,
it's hard
not to go
sometimes.
Buddhist on it, but
Yeah.
where life is suffering. But it does help to know, as our phrase for that is,
Yeah.
yes, you're on the struggle bus, but look around, all the seats are full. so
That's
take
right.
heart. You're not the only one.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
and so the fact that is sort of what life is. That makes it easier that you're not the only one, and like you say, that you could share that burden with somebody to help lay it down.
Yeah, exactly. But we have to be willing to admit to other people that we've got a
that
burden,
Yeah.
and they'll help us carry it. And so, anyway, it's kind of a fun song, but a good reminder to just
Thank
let
you
it
so
go.
much for talking with us about it. Let's take a listen to it.
When I'm feeling heavy, like life's too much to bear, beneath the mud and mire, I need to know you're there. And then I hear you saying that you're feeling my pain too. And then I hear you saying that you like to carry me through. So lay your burden down, yeah. Oh, lay your burden down, yeah, yeah. Oh, if your heart is heavy, I can share the load. So lay your troubles on me, but you have to let them go. You gotta lay that burden down, 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 down. When I'm crazy tired, but evening just won't come, you offer strength and rest now. You quiet me with your love. And when I make my move towards you, my sanity the water. Just follow me down the Jordan stream, 'cause God's gonna trouble the water. Gotta wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water, 'cause God's gonna trouble the water. So lay your burden down. Oh yeah, lay your burden down. If your heart is heavy, I can share the load. Just lay your troubles on me, but you have to let them go. I said you have to let them go. You gotta lay that burden down, 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 down.
Thanks for listening. We'd love it if you'd like and subscribe to the podcast and then share it with the people you know. Also, make sure to check out our other podcasts, Hope for Humans, funny, usable conversations to help change the world around you. This is Pioneer Dream.